progress and as the date gets nearer. I wanted to talk a bit about two of the northern communities, Pikangikum and Attawapiskat. Most of you will know that these two northern communities have recently suffered tragedies related to fire and suicides. Pikangikum First Nation had a serious fire where they lost 9 members of their community. We here at Elected Council reached out to them to offer our prayers and commitment to work for more funding for fire services. We also provided a monetary donation of $1,000 to assist the families. Attawapiskat is also experiencing a crisis because of the number of suicides amongst their young people. I did reach out to the chief of the community to offer our support and to let him know that we do have professional First Nation staff that could provide them with assistance if needed. I also understand that some of our youth are wanting to do a video of hope that they can send up to the youth in Attawapiskat. Just wanted to mention that to the community because they were asking what we were doing as a community, and just to let you know that we have reached out to both communities and our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to both of them. On Hydro One and energy issues, Phil Montour and I recently attended a First Nations energy table which was co-chaired by the Ontario Regional Chief Isidore Day and the Minister of Energy, Bob Chiarelli. Also in attendance were the presidents of Hydro One, Ontario Power Generation, the Independent Electricity Support Operation, and representatives of the Ontario Energy Board. We brought up issues of outstanding historical grievance with respect to transmission lines which cross the Haldeman Track and our other treaty lands, for which we have never been accommodated. We also brought up the many concerns our community members have with respect to their hydro bills, especially the delivery charge. The Minister committed to designate the appropriate staff to meet with our staff to deal with both of these issues. He also committed to take a look at the delivery charge. We will keep you posted on the progress of these discussions as they do move along. In the meantime, if you are having trouble with your hydro bills, please contact Arlene Miracle in my office, who can arrange for you to meet with Hydro One officials at our office on a one-to-one meeting. This is also a reminder that we are hearing of a number of disconnections taking place. So if you have an outstanding hydro bill and do owe on it, please arrange to meet with Hydro One so that you can avoid being disconnected. I've been involved with a number of meetings with the province of Ontario recently, and I just wanted to talk a bit about those. Lonnie Bomberry, Phil Montour, and I recently had a meeting with Minister Ted McMeekin, who is the Minister of Municipal Affairs. And one of the issues we discussed with him was the recouping of the tax dollars that we paid under duress to the City of Brantford last year for the West Street property that was left to us. He advised that we need to discuss this with the Minister of Finance, so we will be seeking a meeting with him to talk about this and some other issues related to tax and gas and everything else. We also discussed the boundary discussions between the city and the county and advised him that our staff are meeting with the city and the county staff to establish some accommodation for Six Nations. Once an accommodation package is developed, we will be taking it to the community. I also participated in a meeting with Premier Kathleen Wynne and other members of the Chiefs of Ontario Political Confederacy. We were reviewing progress being made in relation to the political accord that was signed last August. We also spoke to her about having healthy and safe communities, with specific reference on poverty reduction and infrastructure and community safety related to policing and fire prevention services. We also brought up concerns related to consultation and resource revenue sharing. The Ontario First Nations Young People's Council, including Councillor Mark Hill, also made a strong presentation on a number of issues related to youth empowerment. We will continue to work on these and other issues and provide reports as progress is made. I also attended a policing meeting with Minister Yassir Navki, who is the Minister of Community Safety and Corrections. This was an initial meeting to discuss a framework for First Nations policing in Ontario, and I was accompanied by the Chief of Police and the Chair of the Police Commission at this meeting. There was also a leadership roundtable on the Aboriginal Child and Youth Strategy, which Minister Tracy McCharles of the Ministry of Children and Youth and Minister David Zimmer, Aboriginal Affairs, also attended. This meeting was attended by the Chiefs of Ontario leadership to get a progress report on the Aboriginal Child and Youth Strategy. And we emphasized the importance of proceeding with the discussions on jurisdiction over child welfare. The Political Confederacy of the Chiefs of Ontario, which is I've been attending a number of meetings of, and I've mentioned before, it is comprised of the Grand Chiefs of the Anishinaabeg Nation, the Association of Iroquois and Allied Indians, Grand Council Treaty No. 3, Anishinaabe-Aski Nation, the Mushkegowuk Tribal Council, and the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne. A representative of the Independent First Nations, who I think numbered 12, are also sitting there. And Six Nations also has a seat at the table, and I'm the representative there. We come together on a regular basis to discuss a series of issues that are relevant and applicable to all First Nations in Ontario, and we work together on behalf of all of the communities. As a member of the Political Confederacy, we are all expected to participate on Chiefs committees and take the lead on certain portfolios. I am currently sitting on the Energy Committees and the Environment Committee, and I'm also taking the lead on the Wealth Creation Economic Development portfolio. We will be working with the province on organizing a Wealth Creation Summit that will take place this October. As I said, the Political Confederacy meets on a monthly basis to maintain contact and get updates on the various issues. We also have some councillors who are sitting on different Chiefs committees. Councillor Melba Thomas is our representative on the Chiefs Committee on Social Services. Councillor Helen Miller is a representative on the Chiefs Committee on Lifelong Learning, which used to be called Education. And Councillor Dave Hill sits on a Housing Committee, and Councillor Terry General is our representative on the Ontario First Nations Technical Services Corporation. This past week, I just returned from New York, along with Councillors Ray Miracle, Mark Hill, and Phil Montour, and we were there to attend the 15th session of the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. This forum runs from May 9th to 20th, but we were there for the first 3 days. And it was a pretty historic meeting that we witnessed because for the first time, Canada was represented at this forum by 2 federal cabinet ministers. During the opening ceremonies and after the opening by Sid Hill, the Tadadaho from Onondaga, Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould, who is the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General, made opening remarks and provided comments, much the same as the Prime Minister has been saying since he was elected last fall, such as no relationship is more important to them than the relationship with the Indigenous people. I also took part in a town hall session about violence against women, which was moderated by Minister Wilson-Raybould, and the speakers were Minister Carolyn Bennett, the Minister of Indigenous and Northern Affairs, Canada, and a representative of Indigenous Affairs from Australia. On the second day, we witnessed the Honourable Carolyn Bennett's address stating that Canada is endorsing the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples without any qualifications. She said that they will work to implement the articles included in the declaration. After her speech, she received a standing ovation in the forum. I had spoken to Willie Littlechild, who has been participating at the UN for over 30 years, and he said that he has never witnessed a standing ovation after a speech by any of the states. So this is good news for First Nations, and we look forward to working with the federal government in implementing the declaration. On the last day that we were at the forum, we had the opportunity to attend a session and to meet briefly with the Special Rapporteur on Indigenous Rights. Her name is Vicky Tarpo-Corpuz, and she is from the Philippines. And we talked to her about visiting our community at some time in the future. Now, just a bit on community safety, I want to give a reminder to everyone that we all need to keep our community safe. There's way too much speeding on the roads and the cars going through stop signs. So please slow down, as we do not want to experience any unnecessary accidents. We're also asking everyone to help us reduce vandalism in the community. So let's all work together to make our community healthy and safe for everyone. Last year, Six Nations was offered a special show and a special rate at one of the shows of the Shrine Circus, which was held in Ancaster. We had about 800 people who attended, and the show was thoroughly enjoyed by all who attended, including young and old alike. They enjoyed it so much we decided to do it again. So the Shrine Circus is again offering Six Nations a special rate of $10 per ticket for the 5 p.m. show on Sunday, July 17th at the Ancaster Fairgrounds. Tickets are available with the council receptionist, the schools, and the daycares. We have ordered 1,000 tickets this time, but they are going fast, so make sure to get your tickets early.